What is up, guys? I'm super excited today because today I'm getting to interview D1 athlete and my cousin, Avery Spinello. So, Avery, if you could just introduce yourself and explain kind of how you got to where you are.
Yeah, so I'm Avery. I've been playing softball since I was 6 years old. I played softball at UMass Lowell. I'm going into my sophomore year of college, so just been training and working out this summer to get back into things. We play a season of fall ball coming up when we get back to school, a few games, and then just gonna get ready for spring season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were just talking this week. What are some of like the goals that you have for this season for yourself?
Definitely my speed.
Okay.
I've talked a lot about that with Ryan. I feel like my speed brings a lot of that's what I bring to the game. So my speed, and I would say just like smart base running, super important. And then being able to play small ball, which is like getting a bunt down, and also being able to hit the ball for power is important to my team and to my coaches. So that's a big deal. And then defensive wise, I play shortstop. So just kind of minimalizing, mistakes or like mental mistakes, which I feel like that happens more often than the physical ones. So kind of, working on that and making sure my mental is like at one level at all times and it's not going up and down. So,
right.
Yeah.
What would you say about, so I know some players, they want to just be able to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also like the mindset of like, I just want to focus on being really good at one thing.
Yeah.
Like you talked about your speed, you feel like that's what you bring to the game.
Yeah.
What would you say to like both those, which side would you kind of fall on that? And what would you say to a player who maybe says, I think I need to be good at everything?
I feel like I do that sometimes as a player. Like I'm like, I need to be good at everything as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you just do one thing at a time and you focus on one thing at a time at first, then it'll go by so much smoother. So like I said, focusing on speed is one thing for me, and then focusing on minimalizing mental mistakes in the field, that's another thing. So kind of just taking it day by day and not like doing everything in one day, working on like everything in one day, do one thing at a time, and just, I would say, make a itinerary for yourself, or like a plan. So like, okay, Monday I'm going to work on this, Tuesday I'm going to work on that. Don't cram everything into one day, because I tend to fall into that category of like, okay, I need to work on this. Everything has to be perfect. So definitely just taking everything and putting it in different like categories for sure.
Yeah. And that's kind of what we were talking about. Like we had a week to work, but like we could have touched everything a little bit, or we could like really hammer down on the speed for like a couple of days, and that's really where we're going to see the growth.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of athletes need to hear that, like, especially as you get to higher levels, you need to specialize a little bit more, because everybody has their role on a team. Like,
exactly.
You're not going to be able to be the superstar all the time. You need to bring something specific to the team.
I agree with that a lot. A lot of my teammates and I talk about that a lot, how everyone brings something different to the team. So like one person may hit for power, one person just may hit for a base hit. So there's just, you bring so many different like things to your team. So just knowing your role is like really important. So like, don't overdo it or overstep your role because you feel like you're not doing enough. But it's like everyone on the team has like their own individual role, and they bring strengths and weaknesses, but we fill in for people's weaknesses and people fill in for, my strengths, weaknesses. So that's why you have a team. You're not just there for yourself. So
for sure. That's gold right there.
Yeah.
What is one mindset shift that you've had that has helped you in your performance?
Putting your team first, that's just a big one. That's just like a given. So going through that and learning, I would say if you're a high school athlete going into college, to take that, like learn that now before you get to school, just like your team's going to come first before you. And your coach is going to put out who they think is best and what they think is best for the team and to win games. But so yeah, that's a big one for me, is to not stop putting yourself on a pedestal and, like making sure that your team is put before anything else. But also learning that mistakes are going to happen. That was a really hard pill for me to swallow my freshman year. My freshman year was like a big learning year, I want to say. But so that was just a big one, that mistakes are going to happen and you're going to fail. And so if you don't realize that, you're going to be way too tense, and you're probably going to fail more times than you think or you want to. So learning that mistakes are going to happen and that it's okay that you're going to fail is, I think, better. And I think it takes stress away and takes a weight off your shoulders if you're, instead of tense, being like, I can't make a mistake.
Yeah.
Just knowing that it's going to happen and you're human. So even if it's mental, like there's mistakes you can make on the field that you did that wrong, or you went to the wrong place, or you did that wrong. It's not always just physical. So I would say learning that that's going to happen is just a big deal, and that it's something you should take serious for sure.
Right. I think that's huge for people, because especially like growing up, you're like, the only way I'm gonna like make it to the next level, I make zero mistakes.
If you're
And like
perfect, yeah.
you start to get so tense and like every athlete's felt that where you're like just
Mhm.
in your head thinking way too much.
Right.
What is something that you think whenever a bad play happens or you make a mistake in some way that maybe you tell yourself or you think about that helps you kind of get back into the flow of the game?
I would say I had a really good middle infield, so I obviously played shortstop. My second baseman, the communication between us was just extremely good, like all
Yeah.
the time. So if someone failed or someone made a mistake, like it's just like, okay, next one, like pick it up, like we got the next play, like I got
Right.
your back, you got mine. And I think if I make a mistake, I'm looking more at my pitcher and like, okay, I need to have my pitcher's back next play. Like I'm not like again like putting my team first. I'm not gonna have like
Right.
doing this for myself. Like my pitcher is playing her game and doing great. So if something gets hit to me, I'm not letting it pass me. I'm not like making a mistake for her. So I think
Right.
doing it for someone else might, like for myself, doing that and putting someone else, in front of me kind of helps me.
Right.
But also to pick up what you said before when you said how people getting recruited thinking the only way like they can get recruited is to like not make mistakes. When I got recruited by my school, I was in Chattanooga and we were playing at like Chattanooga's like stadium, like college softball stadium. And we were just a little travel team. And my school, that my coaches were in the stands, and I had no idea what the school was like at all. I didn't know who
Yeah.
they were. And I was playing shortstop and I made an error. And I was so upset. And I was like, because there was a bunch of college coaches there, but like it was just like I didn't know who they were, but still, like you want to get noticed and whatever.
Right.
And I was so upset. And so was my teammate who came out to me and was like, who I still talk to this day, I still see her all the time. And she was like, you have to flush it. You just have to forget about it. Like, I think it never happened. And
Yeah.
she was like, think about yourself and like make yourself an alter ego, do something to like make it seem like it never happened and that you're just like the best player out there. And then the next at bat, I hit a home run, and the next play I made a double play. So then my coaches now, but the college coaches UMass went up to
Yeah.
my coach and like were like, okay, we want to like look into her. So I think don't ever think that like making a mistake is not going to get you recruited, because they're looking at how you react after the mistake and how
Right.
you come back from it. So that's like a big deal for like college coaches. Love seeing that. They love seeing you make a mistake, but they love it even more if you can like wipe it off and do something better after and make up for it. So I think that's a big deal too.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And we need to, so many people need to hear that.
Yeah.
So that's so good.
Yeah.
What is one thing you wish you could tell your younger self about training?
I think I would say to have no excuses, and that Sundays are going to be hard, and how you really
Yeah.
want to get up and you don't want to go to work out or you don't want to go train. But that there should be no excuses to getting work in, because you can have, like I, for myself, have a really small backyard, but there's like a brick wall in my backyard. So being able to use that as like I used to throw a ball at that and just take ground balls off that all the time. So there's like really no excuse to like never, or be like, I don't have a gym or I don't have a place to get work. And you can always like figure it out and like make things work for yourself. So that was a big thing I did when I was young, and I've been doing that ever since. Also, having teammates or friends to hold you accountable, or family. I have a lot of teammates back home here that I played softball with growing up, who we'll go out and we'll work out together. We'll make sure that we're doing stuff. We check in with each other. Even my teammates back in Mass will text each other and ask each other if we worked out today or like what we did. So just having like accountability partners, I think, is important, because you can have someone you're doing things with and like be able to, they kind of keep you level. And so
Right.
I think that's important.
Yeah, and I think you need to be honest with the reality that like it's not always going to be easy. Like there's going to be days where you don't want to get up and work out.
Yeah.
You don't want to get the work in. You don't want to push yourself.
Mm-mm.
So what are some of like the things that you remind yourself of when you wake up and you don't want to get your workout in, or you show up to practice and you're like, I really don't want this today?
It's kind of blunt, but it's like, do you want to like perform well in a game, or do you want to like set the bench or not perform well?
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, for me, like saying things bluntly in my head about like just the reality of it, like not like sugarcoating it, just being like, okay, do you want to do bad in a game, or do you like, because in order to perform well, you obviously have to have confidence, but the hard work comes in as well. So you have to be working hard and making sure that you're doing everything you need to do leading up to the game. So if you're skipping things, you're slacking, then it's just going to show on the field.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of simple for me.
Right.
Yeah.
What would you say like your ultimate goal is in softball? Like after college, during college, like what's your ultimate goal to get out of the sport?
I've already got a lot out of it just my freshman year,
Yeah.
learning a lot about like myself, but also just like how to be a team player and like put your team before yourself. That was a big thing that I think I went into my freshman year, and I kind of put myself before my team sometimes, and kind of like, if I didn't do well, it was like, well, I don't care how else anyone else did. I just wanted to do well. So that was like a big thing for me that I had to kind of step back and be like, it's not just about myself. It's also about my teammates. So I think just like, you become a better person, I think, being an athlete, because you're around your teammates and you learn to put your teammates first, and you learn to be a good listener, and just like work together as a team. So that sets you up for success, I think, in the future already. But softball wise, I want to like be the best I can for my team. I want to, be a player that people remember at the school. And then just coming out of it, I feel like it's gave me lifelong friendships and people that I'm going to probably be with, talk to forever. So that in itself is just good, but also just makes me, I feel like, a better person, and for setting me up for success in life. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I just asked that because I always think of like what is like our purpose in our sport when it's like on the days that are hard, on the days where you don't want to do it, and that's what I think helps you like carry through in those moments.
No, yeah, for sure. I think my team is like a big deal, because you go into the locker room and you like see everyone's showing up and everyone's there. So it's like some people might have had the worst day ever, but they're still showing up and doing things. So you just have to be there for your team and understand that like not every day is going to be easy, but when you have 20 other girls doing it with you, it like makes it easier for sure. Yeah.
What is one piece of advice you'd like to give to yourself as a freshman in high school?
I would say to my freshman year of high school self to stop comparing yourself to other people, or don't compare yourself to other people in the first place, and to play your game and stop getting caught up in like what other people are doing, other athletes are doing. If people are, getting more offers or committing way earlier than you, just kind of play your game and know that like everyone has strengths and weaknesses. I think I did that a lot when I was little and younger. So just to not compare yourself and work hard, and that's what I would say.
What is one habit that you've added to your life that has helped you in your game?
I would say towards the end of the season, I would say about 3 of us came up with this idea. It was middle infielders again, so people that are playing in the infield who can relate to this. But we would sit in the locker room before a game. No one else would be in there. It'd be time to do like pregame warm-ups and stuff. And we would just kind of go through the 3 kind of like whys, I guess you could say, or like 3 just positive affirmations. So one would be good thing about yourself. So like say something good about yourself, say something good about defense, say something good about offense. So, or it could be like, you could kind of like say what you want to happen. So speaking it into existence and visualizing in your head. So like, I'm going to make, every ball, I'm going to fill every ball that comes to me is like for defense. For offense, I'm going to make contact with the ball, hit the ball hard. That's for offense. And then for just confidence wise, like being like, I'm the best player out in the field. Like it doesn't have to be true, but it can be something that makes you feel like better or makes you feel more confident. So I think the more you speak it into existence as well, and like visualize it in your head, you making plays, you doing that really does help, makes a difference in your game. Another thing I used to do sometimes before games by myself, that was with like a few other girls, so it wasn't a big thing, would be like music. And then music's a big thing for me. I love music. I love listening to it when I'm doing absolutely anything. And so, but music before a game, and then visualizing, just kind of like I said, making plays, hitting the ball hard. Making like a big time play. That's just a big thing I used to do. We have like a team lounge, and so I would sit in there and just kind of like take 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be long, but like 5 minutes, and do some like visualizing. That stuff really helped me, I would say. So,
I'm huge on visualization. I think it's just so big. Like when you're in that environment and all the pressure's there and the fans are there, your coaches are watching, like it feels just a little bit easier when you feel like you've been there already.
Exactly. And I think you have to think about every single like thing that's going to go on. So think about like people walking by, think about the weather, think about if it's windy, if it's not, think about if it's sunny, if it's cloudy, like think about the dirt, think about what kind of ball you're feeling. Like I think about it all and what kind of steps I'm taking. So I think that really helps, going through every single detail.
Yeah,
for sure.
Exactly. I think a big theme that we've seen, like I think that you've learned this whole year, is like that mindset is so important. And that the things that you're telling yourself, the things that you're speaking, that you're saying to yourself is gonna matter so much more for the game. And like that prep before the game, it like people say it all the time, but like it matters more than you think.
For sure. Yeah.
It's really cool to hear that.